Hey everyone, good evening, good evening, or rather, should I say, Happy New Year, Happy 2022 and beyond. I'm just coming to you this evening just to say hi. Um, just to, we're not in lunchtime, we're not in brunch, we're mostly going into dinner. Um, I just wish you all the very best for the year 2022. And I just want to remind us, and today's a very good time of the year, just to remind us of a few important stuff. We've walked over from the year 2021 and we've walked through 2021 and we're now into the year 2022. And we have a lot to be thankful for because I don't know if anybody can say, but I certainly can, that 2021 brought its challenges to me. However, at the same time, with the challenges, I also made opportunities. Opportunities were presented to me, and I did grab them. And I'm sure that a lot of us can say the very same, that throughout the trials and everything that we've had, that we still had a lot of positives from our 2021 experiences. And so it's a timely reminder for us, um, just going forward, to make plans, to make visions. The great book says, write the vision, make it plain. Um, because ever so often we have ideas and we think of them that, oh, the thought just crossed my mind. But sometimes that idea that we're getting, that little thought, that little something that just run across our mind according to how we might think it's running across, it's really more than a running across that we're getting. It's an idea, it's a business venture, it is something that will take us into greatness. So when you get these little thoughts and these little whatever, make a note of them because it is said that 10% of what we, it is said that 10% of what we hear is retained. 20% of what we read is retained. However, it is 80% of what we read that is retained. So 10% of what we hear, 20% of what we read, and 80% of what we see, those are the memorable things that remains with us. And so it is always important to write. And I'll share a little trick with you that I have done in the past, and it works very well for me. Because, all of us, we have this diary and we have this, journal, and we have all the things that we use throughout the year. And so I used to have a stock of diaries that I would write my stuff in. And I know you might say, okay, Marcia, it's modern time and nobody uses diary, nobody uses a physical journal anymore. But some of us still do. And so, I'd have all these things and I'd have them stacked pile high. But what I've come to realize is that what I started doing a couple of years ago was that I would go through my journal, I would go through my diaries, and I started the things that I had not been able to achieve. I started to bring them forward month to month. So if I had something on my agenda for January and I did not achieve that, I started bringing it over into February and vice versa, March until I get to December. At the end of December, I now transfer the things that I was not able to achieve into the new year, January. And not only is that good, but it also keeps you on point. It also keeps you from having to dig back into the past to, look for stuff because you have them now right at your fingertip. So try to let me know what you think about it. Just bring your thoughts forward, carry forward from January to February, and all the way down into December. And at the end of December, you just bring that over into January. So as I talk about that, as I said before, I spoke to you about writing your vision. It is important that you your, create your dreams, write them down. create vision boards and write your stuff down, carry them forward. Um, it is important because as we go through life, we have different things that come to us, and we want to be able to keep a tally on them to see where we are. Okay. And from time to time, we're going to be doing checks when we have written our visions. We're going to be doing checks to see what we've been able to achieve. What do we need to revisit? What do we need to recap? What do we need to say, okay, fine, I'm going to scratch this because this is not going to be possible for this year. So I'm going to scratch it. And instead, make sure when you're scratching something else in that place because you don't want to leave or something. So if you have to take out something, what are you going to fill that space with? Um, we have had our CS Bite and a Mouthful in the past on a Wednesday evening. We usually start at 7 p.m. And so this Wednesday, we're going to be starting our season 2 of CS Bite and a Mouthful. And what we will be discussing this evening, it's a new year, it's the best time of the year to just tap on things and just hit the nail on the head as we start the new year. And so the topic of discussion that we're going to be looking at this week is that we're going to talk about goals. We're going to talk about visions. We're going to talk about writing them down. We're going to talk about the importance of it. We're going to talk about the feeling you get when you have made a decision, when you have goals and aspirations and dreams and you see them coming through. How does it make you feel? So we're going to be having, as I said, our CS Bite and a Mouthful starting back this Wednesday evening. And this week we're going to be doing it at about 6:30. We're doing it a little bit earlier to facilitate our speaker, right? And then following on that for the following week, we're going to talk about, just focusing, the importance of focusing, the importance of meditation. How does meditation help us to stay tuned, to stay on target, help us to really, balance ourselves and really to see how we're going forward. So, just sharing with you this evening, this morning, it's funny because the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And last night, as I sat at home and I decided I was going to do church virtually, I sat up and about maybe 10:15, church started at about 10, but about 10:15, I felt a little bit tired. So I said, okay, I'm going to just set my alarm for 11. And then I should be able to not only to join in the service, but to be able to bring in the new year, ring in the new year. 11, the alarm went off. And when the alarm went off, that's when I really felt like I wanted to sleep. So I turned over a little bit and I'm like, okay, fine, I soon go there. And it went off again. And I took up the phone and I went into the Zoom and whatever. Somehow I don't know what happened. But the next thing I know, I heard, the celebration and the thing going on around. And, when I jumped up, it was 3 minutes after 12. And the thought dawned on me. We read the Bible and we hear about, the 5 wise and the 5 foolish women. And I'm like, oh my God, so I, I would have missed the mark. So, it is important in all things that, we keep a balance and that whenever time we set goals, we just try to, as much as possible, try to stay within the realms of our goal. And I just want to leave a thought with you as I go. Psalm 23. It speak about the Lord being my shepherd and we shall not want. And it goes on and say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And what I have done with this psalm is that Marcia Harris, I have personalized it. So I said, the Lord is my Marcia Harris shepherd. I, Marcia Harris, shall not want. Make it me, Marcia Harris. And I continue. And as I continue, I just personalize it for myself. So I just want to hear your feedback, want to hear your views, want to hear your opinions. Do you know of someone who wants to be a guest on our program, who has something that they would really want to contribute to our CS Bite and a Mouthful program. We're an inspirational program. We just seek to inspire, to motivate, to educate, and to inform. So if you know someone who fits the caliber, fits the bill, let them, send me a DM and we will see how we can have you on our program. Until Wednesday or until I pop back in to say hi. This is Marcia Sia Harris saying a blessed, happy, prosperous, and productive 2022 to you. As we walk forth into our purpose, let us remember that there are times that we might get floored, but as long as you can look up, you can get up. So I'll talk to you soon. Until then, have a blessed one.